When people talk about the hidden costs of large-scale migration from Muslim-majority regions, the conversation quickly becomes tangled in emotions and rapid opinions. Yet beneath the noise lies a real need to understand how major population movements affect public services, social cohesion, and daily life for both newcomers and established residents. This is an invitation to step back from oversimplified narratives and explore the topic with calm and honesty. Here we reflect on economic pressures, cultural transition, and community challenges without blame and without losing sight of human dignity. By the end of this journey, a clearer view of these hidden costs allows for wiser choices and more compassionate responses. Stay with me, subscribe, and share your thoughts so we can continue learning together. Many headlines warn about the hidden costs of migration from Muslim-majority countries, yet few explain who these migrants are or why the words we use matter. Migration over recent decades is not a single wave, but a complex movement of people leaving the Middle East, Africa, and Asia for different reasons. Some flee war or persecution. Others search for safety, stability, or opportunity. If we ignore these differences, we reduce real lives to a blur, and our judgments become colder and less fair. That is why this video pauses to look closely at where these movements begin and to clarify key terms. Refugees flee war or persecution and are protected under international law. Asylum seekers have fled danger but await a ruling. Economic migrants leave mainly to seek work or better conditions. When debates mix these categories together, misunderstanding rises and fear spreads easily. These distinctions shape how governments respond and how faith communities, charities, and individuals judge the people they see on their screens. If everyone is labeled a refugee, we misunderstand legal responsibilities. If everyone is dismissed as an economic migrant, we risk closing our hearts to those escaping danger. In an age of scrolling and reacting, there is courage in simply slowing down and asking, who is this person and why did they come? For you as a viewer, a Catholic, or a person of goodwill, the invitation is to notice these differences and let that awareness shape your conversations, online and in real life. Clear thinking joined with compassion allows us to move past labels and honor the dignity of each person in this global debate. To understand the hidden costs of migration from Muslim-majority regions, we must first look at the global movements reshaping our world. In 2015 and 2016, Europe faced what many called a refugee crisis. Images of crowded boats and families at borders revealed deeper fractures in our global system. A large share of these migrants came from Syria and Afghanistan, where war and instability forced many to leave. For host nations, sudden population shifts created pressure on housing, education, healthcare, and social programs, pressures that remained long after the headlines faded. These decisions were made by families weighing the risk of a dangerous journey against the danger of staying in conflict zones. Meanwhile, European societies wrestled with rapid cultural change. Political debates intensified, and fear sometimes turned into anger. These hidden costs exist not only in budgets, but in strained trust and social tensions. Even if you live far from these borders, the effects are global. They shape elections, media narratives, and public policy. As a person of faith or goodwill, you are invited to resist slogans. Ask why people left, what challenges host countries face, and how both sides can move beyond fear. Behind every statistic are faces and stories. From the conversations at your dinner table to the media you consume, your choices matter. Clear thinking and compassionate hearts help societies carry the weight of migration with justice and mercy. So, how many migrants from Muslim-majority countries are we actually talking about? Worldwide, tens of millions now live outside their birth country. In many regions, they make up 20% to 30% of the migrant population. This slow, steady increase reshapes schools, jobs, neighborhoods, and religious communities. These shifts happen over decades, not overnight, which is why the cost can be invisible. As families settle and children enter school, pressure grows on social services and infrastructure. Yet new businesses, cultural contributions, and human resilience also appear. Statistics are not cold facts. They reflect personal journeys. Even without crossing a border, these shifts touch your life. In workplaces, elections, public services, and even the people behind you at church. So when you hear about migration statistics, Ask what those numbers describe. Let the data deepen compassion rather than fear. See migrants not as statistics, but as future neighbors and contributors. The economic and social costs of migration are real, but so are the benefits. In many nations, migrants fill essential jobs, from healthcare construction, that keep entire sectors running. Their taxes and spending fuel economies. Their presence supports aging societies and strengthens social systems. They bring innovation, open businesses, and enrich communities with new ideas and cultures. Yes, receiving migrants requires investment, administration, housing, healthcare, and education. These costs are real, though often less than 1% of GDP and small compared to the long-term gains if integration succeeds. The hidden cost is not the money itself, but the strain on institutions and the frustration when systems are overwhelmed. Education can be another pressure point, especially when children arrive with language needs or trauma. Yet successful integration also brings benefits: a younger workforce, new talent, and economic growth. The social costs are often the most visible: challenges to social cohesion, cultural misunderstanding, or feelings of isolation. Parallel communities can emerge when there is little contact between migrants and local residents. Brain waste occurs when skilled migrants cannot find work, and debates about crime and security can become heated. Even though most migrants are law-abiding and the causes of crime are complex, the hidden cost is mistrust and fear, not migration itself. But none of these costs are inevitable. Early investment in integration, clear migration policies, and community engagement transform challenges into opportunities. Governments play a role, but so do neighbors, employers, churches, and schools. Migration is multidimensional. It brings both pressures and strengths. Our task is to face both honestly. Your voice matters, not just as a voter or taxpayer, but as a neighbor. Support policies that balance compassion and responsibility. Practice hospitality without being naive. Ask questions without losing respect. Speak with both wisdom and empathy. And now it is your turn. How can nations balance the costs and benefits of migration with fairness and dignity? Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and stay for the next chapter of this conversation.